Hello, guys. So, after what I told you would happened. Yes, Susie, you're listening to? After what I told you would happen, what I told you what happened. I got fired from my job and switched and replaced. That was the 23rd, which was a Wednesday in August 2023. And it made me so sad that I just cried because I was so sad to not see my kindergartner students and my first grade students because I know, one, they enjoyed seeing me every day, and I love that environment, a work environment where there's people who love seeing me and want to hug me and are happy to see me. And it just broke my heart today, which is Thursday, 24th August, that I didn't know anyone. I didn't know any students. And the students didn't know me and they didn't know to talk to me. And it just was so sad to go from an environment where I was loved and people care to see me, and then I'm here where there's no one who even knows who I am. And that type of loneliness is enough to make me quit. But luckily, there were students that were just kind to me in second grade and third grade, and I'm just like, you know what, I think I can do this. They're actually trying to talk to me and be friendly. But if there was no kids being friendly, I would literally not want to be there. And the kids that are friendly and talkative also end up being the kids that were bad. For example, one boy was helping me to figure out how to log into a computer. And once he helped me, we went to lunch, and then I found out this boy is getting silent lunch, and it's like, what's making you have silent lunch? Why are you the bad kid? And again, with second grade and third grade, these teachers are way harsher on them. And I know they are because I missed the first 2 weeks of their schooling. But I was able to see kindergarten and first grade, and they were pretty bad. But I know second grade and third had to be worse because those kids, they sit down when the teacher says sit down, they be quiet when the teacher say be quiet. Like, they are so trained to listen that I'm just like, wow. And then one teacher told me that she's not mean if she just sounds mean. And she says she makes sure to do that in the first year because she taught fourth grade. And when she taught fourth grade, she knew they would be crazy because she was nice at the beginning of the year. So now she's like, I'm going to be tough as possible at this year because they ain't going to play around with me. And that's how a lot of teachers act. They have that strict attitude: no jumping, no running, no talking to your friends, no not listening to me, do all your math work. And at the end of the day, these kids, like, there's 16 kids in a class, and you do need to put them in small groups and tell them that, hey, you're going to have to work together, you're going to have to listen to me, and go over classroom routines with them. And I feel like that's why a lot of kids don't know how to act. They don't know what it's like to be in school. And parents need to help them. So, as I was saying, I don't have my position with first grade and kindergarten. And I tell everybody why I was switched. I don't care. I'm like, there was this autistic boy in class, and she's going to follow her other cat. So, yeah, I tell him there was this boy in class who was autistic in first grade, and what happened was this girl apparently worked with him in kindergarten, and so the principal decided she is more familiar with this boy than I am, and that maybe having a different assistant would make him do better in school, and that she talked to the father about this change, and the father was like, okay, you're going to try to help my son by giving him a new teaching assistant. Okay, do that. But I think it's because I know that teacher, Miss Caraldi, was flipping desks and throwing out students' things because the desk was too messy, and she would be acting very abusive towards the children. And then I also think it's because with the autistic child, I was trying to get his IEP and follow it, which is the individual education plan for him. And I'm not allowed to ask about that. And then a teacher even told me, you can't really ask about things like that. You have to say that a parent lost their copy of the IEP because they don't want me as an assistant to get it. And I don't understand that. I don't understand why it's so top secret. But for me to get a copy, I have to pretend and say a parent needs it. But I, as a staff member who works with the child every day for 7 hours, I get paid to do that. I can't know the IEP, which is the lesson plan with accommodations for the student. And all I got is a progress report, which is not an IEP. And autistic people need special accommodations in a classroom. And so with this teaching assistant, I even asked her about it. And, well, not really about it, but I asked her about how she's been getting to classes. And she said that she actually missed a class. But even when she misses a class, she makes sure to go inside the teacher's room and be like, I didn't forget about you, but another class is taking some time. I won't be in your class today. And the teacher is like, okay, I understand. And she did this with Miss Caraldi's class. And she's like, yeah, Miss Caraldi, another class is taking up a lot of my time. I won't be able to be in yours today. And I'm like, so you make her a teaching assistant to help this autistic child, and she's not even in Miss Caraldi's classroom. Okay. And then number 2, I asked my student about it, Mr. Let's call him Harrison. Let's call this one Harris. And I asked him about it, and he said that he doesn't really like the new assistant, and then he also said that she wasn't in class a lot. And he said that the autistic child hasn't been in class. And that's true because he wasn't in class yesterday. He was with a behavioral specialist. And then today he wasn't in class at all because he was with the behavioral specialist, I'm sure. Because I know he walked through the door. He had to have went to class because I saw him get off the bus. But he was not in class. And that's because this teacher gave him his favorite toy, a car, and then he flies it in the air, and I assume it hit his best friend in the class, which is Harris. And then Harris was like, this didn't really hurt me, it was just a tap. And the teacher freaks out, and she's like, no more car for you. And then the boy is freaking out because he loves his toys, he loves his car. He probably paid with that car for like a good 3 minutes. And then it got taken away from him. And he thought, this is mine. And then he gets so worked up about it because he loves cars. The first thing he had when he came to school was a car. And she did take that away from him, but it was a tiny car. This was like a white, new toy car, and he loves it. Like, that he's attached. He has a big car collection at home. Like, this kid loves his cars. He'll watch the Cars commercial like 10 times in a row every single day. Like, and then she takes it away from him. She yells at him. And he's sensitive to noise, and then she works him up so much that he cries and throws up. And it was really sad to see his eyes get so red. And now he has a behavioral specialist when he doesn't need one.